First will be me,
First will be me, right?
No, put on
got intro.
J got intro, my husband name.
Got intro.
Okay, so this is what I have to say.
Yeah.
All right, and thank you, my love. Okay, let me just check again. Do you have the remote? Okay. Are we good to go? Are we good to go? Well, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's do this. Hello everyone, welcome to my first live YouTube show during this RMO or the MCO. Actually, I don't know which is the actual official term. I've been using RMO, but I've of late been seeing MCO being used more often. And today marks, of course, the second week, 14 days in fact, of the restricted movement order. And it's been quite an extraordinary past few days, I must say. And like many other people, I have self-isolated myself due to this horrible pesky coronavirus. It's daunting, admittedly, it's a little bit scary, a bit challenging, especially with 3 young children, and I have to homeschool them. My helper's not around. It's a constant cooking, cleaning, schooling, repeat. But so surely it's trying times
right now, but it's not all doom and gloom. I've seemed to find some blessings, and I'm very grateful. In a way, to have found some positivity being enforced or being staying at home. So for the next few days, or at least till this RMO is over, I heard that this is gonna be extended, by the way, but it's all speculation still. So again, yes, for the next few days, or at least until this RMO is over, I will be hosting this live show every day at 4 p.m. Collaborating with other guests or other shows. Who knows? The potential is quite big because, as the saying goes, we have to find the bright side to everything. Every cloud has a bright side or a silver lining. And if there's someone who will always find the silver lining to a situation, it has to be my first guest, who is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for agreeing to be my first guest, because we're actually trying to test out this whole system. Now, many will know him through his voice. He talks for a living, is the brains behind the app called Radio. Web radio. I was actually one of his guests on his show. He dabbles in acting, he produces, he writes. Sorry, my son just walked in. And recently created this hashtag, 1 minute of applause, because it's time to stay apart but to be together. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome JJ Fernandez. Hey, sorry for that long intro. It's just that I wanted to get that bit out.
It's okay. It's just weird because we're connecting through Skype, right? And there's a screen for me to look at. But if I look at the screen, I'm not looking at the camera. So now I got to look at the camera. It's weird. But yeah, so I'm getting used to this. But I'm looking at the camera. How's everybody doing?
Oh, I was going to ask you. We're doing okay. It's just a bit tiring because, like I said, I don't have my helper. But a blessing, because now I get to save more money, surprisingly. I don't know. Kalau my helper ada je yang kurang. But like now we're shopping, maybe smaller, but takat. He was saying my husband Joe here is at the back, Azmi. And he was saying, why is it that I always have to buy Downy and Persil, the softener and the detergent? Why 1 week finish very fast?
Well, you are always pedantic in all this thing.
No, I think you know why. It's because all of a sudden we are more aware of what we use, what we have, and how much we have around us. We are more aware of our present than only focusing on our future. Before this, in the rat race, we always look at the future, how to do this, how to do that, how to get better, how to improve this. But we never take time to stop and pause and look at what we have around us and really take in what we have to really, move forward smartly rather than, just go lah. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll summarize, because this is the best time for us to actually have self-reflection and to be grateful. I mean, there are people worse off than us, right?
Oh, yes.
JJ, are you in your car?
Yes, I am. The best soundproof place in the world is your car.
I'm not. You're not driving or anything, right?
Yeah, it's got everything you want. If you want to have music, you got.
Right.
It's soundproof and aircon. So yeah.
Okay, let's talk through this 1 minute of applause. I know you tagged me on Twitter, but I've somehow forgotten my days until I saw your Instagram. Speaking of which, let's take a look at what happened on Sunday at 8 p.m. where you got even your neighbors and the dog to clap for our frontliners. Let's take a look at this.
To play. Good, you're practicing social distancing as well.
Aww. Oh, there you go. That happened on Sunday, and you are thinking of doing it again this Sunday.
I think we should do it every Sunday until we reach the point where we have beaten. I mean, we've won this war. It is a war that we all are going in. If we and the enemy is something that we can't see. So I guess I wanted to do it because there's nothing much I can do. But as entertainers, as people who've been on stage, I believe we feed off other people's energy. As human beings, we feed off other people's energy. So if we send out this energy out toward these people in the front line, I'm sure somehow or other it would help in a way. I believe in that. I believe that's how the universe works. You send out good energy comes back, and this good energy will be received by the people who need it. So I was hoping, like everybody in Malaysia, one time make noise for 1 minute. I want the whole Malaysia to scream and applaud these people because they are amazing.
They are. And you're right. It's not just the frontliners. I mean, the those in the hospital, but we forget about the police.
Correct.
The Grab drivers, the delivery guys.
Correct. And even our garbage collectors.
Oh,
you think about it, the people who are sick are going to throw their snot in the dustbin, and these people are not protected. They just collect the rubbish and throw. So I have so much respect for all these people that are doing things to allow us to have some form of normality. So it's big up to them.
Will our lives ever be normal, JJ?
Our
After
lives will be a different kind of normal.
Okay.
So I believe I don't know, I'm optimistic.
Right. Yes,
to a point where some people find it irritating. But I believe after this, if the rat race starts again, yes, we will pick up the pace again, but we'll be fast while we cruise. I don't know whether that makes sense.
Nice.
We're going to go fast, but we're going to cruise because we're going to take time to look around and enjoy the moment. So I hope so.
How's it been for you for 2 weeks now? Do you see your mom? Do you see your other family members
FaceTime calls, so it's really fun.
Okay.
So the whole family does FaceTime calls once in a while. Earlier today we had one. What we did is we got the kids to play charades and asked my mom to guess.
Oh, how's mom, by the way? Is she alone at home? Okay. I'm actually showing on screen right now. Zab, your sister, is also a good friend of mine, and she's taken a picture of on the last time all of you guys were together. Mom, you, I don't know which brother this is. That's Joshua. Okay, this is the last photo from outside world that I have in my phone just before the MCO. And of course, you can't visit your mom not only because of social distancing, but because she's in the vulnerable group. But you've been compliant, right? I mean, you've been following the RMO.
Depending on what you mean by compliant, I do go out and buy stuff.
Okay, the essentials lah. But
Yeah,
taklah
but
keluar jalan-jalan, main catur semua kan?
no. That one orang gila buat macam tu. But the idea, I like what's going on, and for people to understand what flattening the curve means. Some people still don't understand.
Yep.
Some people think by doing this, the disease will die straight away. Of course, not 100% will die straight away. If you ask any medical professional, they will tell you it'll still be around. But the difference is, if we all stay at home,
Yep.
the amount of people getting sick at the same time is lesser. So because of that, the doctors have chance to cure the people who got sick. So
Right.
no one has to be turned away for medical help because there are beds, there are all the proper equipment, and everybody gets the right kind of help they need. So that's what flatten the curve does. It doesn't mean it disappears straight away.
Nope.
It's more spread out and more manageable. So that's, and of course, yes, it does stop the spread of the virus, but it slows it down more likely.
You're a big advocate on ensuring that our mental health is also
Yes.
checked upon. Are you one of those that goes crazy over the overwhelming news, or are you like me who just chills for a bit and I get my summary from Azmi, from Joe? What sort of person are you? How do you keep your mental health sane?
Well, I take everything with a pinch of salt.
Okay.
So I do like reading everything because it helps me understand the situation I'm going in. Because I always believe fear and knowledge work opposites. If you have a lot of fear, that means you got a little amount of knowledge of what's going on. If you have a lot of knowledge, your fear drops. So I believe knowing stuff helps, but not just reading everything and believing everything. If you read everything and believe everything, you get scared as well. So you gotta be smart about knowing and then understanding where it's from. Do a bit of research whether it's factual or not.
Oh, that's so important. A lot of people are sending all these fake news. Why do people do that?
Because they want to help, but because of fear, they want to help and they think they're helping, but they're not. So,
JJ, do you think this RMO will be extended? Right now, it's been extended for another 2 weeks. That would mean 14th of April. That's just a week shy away from Ramadan, but there's speculation that it might be extended. What are your thoughts?
I think it will be extended, but not for everybody. I think the country will slowly open up again, but for different departments and different people who work. So the country's economy has to start again. This is what I believe. But it'll start slow. So they're going to look at little parts that should be open and start again, should be open and start again. But part by part, we'll open up. Eventually, we'll go back to normality. But I don't think it's straight away. Everybody go out again. No, I think it's going to be part by part.
What do you think the businesses that will start unfolding or being opened up?
Well, I believe it's going to be the businesses that are money-based businesses.
Okay.
I'm talking about banks,
Yeah.
insurance, and stuff like that. And then eventually will be the bigger corporations, but running at a skeleton crew. Because those big corporations, money trickle down to the smaller corporations. But because the smaller corporations still continue now from home, a lot of small businesses started from home and operate from home, so it's no big deal.
Right.
So I think the bigger businesses, the skeleton crews will slowly come in, slowly move up. Broadcasting will start again, and I guess that's what's needed. But before we continue, you know what's the funny part? The first time I saw RMO, I thought tak ada duit lagi, RM kosong. So
Rosma Mansur lah.
Rosma Mansur on board.
So I thought like, oh kesian dia, tak ada duit, RMO. How can I help? Then only I realised, okay, bodohnya aku. But never mind, that's me.
Speaking of bantuan, just before we get there, I'm just curious, okay, this is something totally unrelated, but there's a reason why I'm going to ask you this. You know when you travel, when you write your travel documents, and there's the part where you say it's occupation, what do you write in your occupation?
Entertainer? I don't know.
Okay.
It's very confusing because I don't have a specific thing I do.
Right.
If I'm like last time radio senang because there's a specific thing more or less.
You just put radio DJ
predominantly
down.
do.
Yeah.
So I put announcer.
Announcer, okay.
So, back then, but now it's more of an entertainer because I do entertain. But yalla.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking you this is because you know how, as long as you're in the entertainment industry,
Yeah.
even if you're just an MC, okay,
Yeah.
you are considered artist. Kan? Artist. Now, there's a reason why I'm bringing up this artist word because recently 2 local artists were under scrutiny for asking for bantuan. They've apologized since. We know who they are. I'm
Right.
not sure if you're familiar about this news. I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
But yes, at the same time, even before this RMO or MCO happened,
Yeah.
there is a big, vast difference of
Right.
different celebrities. You've got the
Right.
super rich ones like Datuk Siti Nurhaliza, you
Yeah.
know, who are doing so well regionally, internationally. And
Yeah.
then we've got
Everyone else.
everyone else.
Yeah, that's the funny part. A
Yeah.
lot of people think fame instantly translate to dollars.
Right.
It's not true. It's not true. But it's true to a different way where when you have a celebrity status, you can make money in ways that other people can't, like promoting an item or endorsing something. So yeah, there are ways of making more money than making money than differently from others.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean you're filthy rich. A lot of people think if you're artist, you're filthy rich. No. Everybody still got loans, bank accounts. This is not like America where you can just bling bling, $1 million mansions. Tak ada. Bukan sini. All the artists locally who have $1 million mansions and all that, rich, they've got side business.
Yeah.
They've got either business in doing something else, or like they have their own side business, a clothing line, makeup, or something like that. It's not just pure aku artis, aku ada duit.
So how are you surviving? I'm actually glad we've got that little, I can't even pronounce it,
Moratorium.
Yes, thank you so much.
That one.
You know, even before he announced it, PM announced it, I had already sort of called up banks, went to my insurance people and say, look, how much cash value do I have because I can't pay, cancelled all my auto debits, and that's me. We've been trying to sell one of our cars actually, but with no success. So we're downgrading our lifestyle because that's just how it is. Shit happens. Yourself?
Me, I've been trying to find different ways of making money, because one of the things I do also now is I'm a creative director for a company, right?
Right.
So coming up with ideas and doing stuff, you can do that at home. Even like doing videos and coming up with little ads, it can be done from home.
You're right.
It's just if you know the know-how, like you have to have the know-how of doing stuff. So how am I? Any way I can, I find ways to make money, I'll make money. If someone calls me, hey, can you do a VO? I can do a VO for my house and send it to you. Go ahead, no problem. Anybody want to ask me to do anything, dapat kerja, I will do it. But not out of the house lah, please.
But not out of the house, because you want to stay home, you want to flatten the curve.
Yes,
and going back to how a lot of people assume that kita artis ni, kita ni have all this glamorous life, you know.
Betul.
It's not. Well, at least in my case, it's definitely far from that. And especially now, as a professional MC, that is my main perut nasi. Events are being cancelled. First, it was, of course, the travel ban, because there was a lot of, a lot of my travel stuff was banned. And then it was the government change. And then now it's the RMO. So I'm being hit. But people are not paying me because they're not getting paid either. So I don't know about you. How is it for you?
No, same. So I'm actually stuck. So I have a wonderful family and a bit of savings, so I'm just scraping through that. But here's a weird thing.
Right.
I was going through that hard time, and then, like I said, I send out positive vibes, wishing someone help me out, and I believe that it will come through. And thank God, something came through like the past 3 days. Wow. I managed to get a bit of cash. I got a bit of like food for my family. So I'm good. So I believe, I know it's hard. I know it's not the same, but I'm one, like I said, I can be optimistic to a point of irritating, and it seems to have helped me throughout my whole life. Where even though how down and out I am, I allow myself to be down and out for a while, and then just look positive and just try. Eventually, things come. So yeah, that's me.
That's a great thing about you. I mean, not only are you positive and annoyingly optimistic, but also the fact that you're able to do things with whatever given situation. Just before we had this interview going live, we were speaking very briefly, and I said, hold your thoughts. The fact that we are able, like, you're my guinea pig, to be honest, as my first guest here, because we're just setting up this whole system here to go live on YouTube to record it straight away, and you're in your car, you know, just making the best out of your situation.
No, but I think that's brilliant, because you know what's the funny thing before this? Because of technology and the stuff and how easy things were before this restricted movement, we took a lot of things for granted. And then we used to look at, oh, that guy has that kind of privileges and network and all that, therefore he is better than me. So that is why I'm not as big as them and all that. You know, everyone finds different excuses of why they are not going ahead. All of a sudden, everyone is in the same boat, and everyone's figuring out different ways of, hey, wait a minute, I have this for me to use. Why not I use this, create this, or figure out a different way of promoting something? And because of this, a lot of people are being more smart. They're using their brains to achieve what they want, rather than just trusting the system and just going with the flow.
I'm going to hold your thought into before I move on to our next question. This Amrizal Khalid has just left a comment over my YouTube channel. And he says, I have nothing against you guys, but pretty sure you guys don't fall under B40 category.
No, we're not.
So we're not, but that's just it, because I can't remember where I read it. Again, I have no time to actually fully digest news because I'm so busy with the kids. That golongan karyawan ada yang termasuk dalam category B40. So I guess that's what Amrizal is saying.
Okay, can I answer Amrizal?
Please, JJ, your thoughts.
Okay, Amrizal, you know, I've been on radio for the longest time. And then radio was just taken away from me just like that. I found out that I wouldn't be on radio 3 weeks before they closed the station. So I literally had no backup whatsoever. But thank God I had savings. Then for 3 years, I went around trying to figure out what my next step is. Because when I was on radio, I had my succession already. From radio, move to network, and then become like maybe the boss and guide, and more or less I was doing that already. I was already headed to that direction when that was taken away, and I lost everything. I literally had there were points where 3 months I don't have any income at all, and I literally have to go, okay, I only have 200 ringgit to spend for this week. I've got to put 50 ringgit for petrol. I've got to pay for this. So don't assume that just because someone was famous or have been famous, they have money or easy to come by money. No, I vouch for it. It's not easy that all celebrities are like that. I literally had 3 years of my life where I get banks calling me and going, yo, when are you going to pay your loan? Because the money is not in. Even though, yes, I get my MC jobs, but my MC jobs is not every month I get one. So I'm talking about I get one, and I got to save that, and I got to sparingly pay it here, pay it there, because I don't know when my next paycheck is going to come from. So I lived like that for 3 years. I don't know where my paycheck is going to come from. So whatever money I have to keep. I'm not saying that, you're not the same as someone who makes 800 ringgit every month. I know I'm not the same, but there are moments where it could be 800 ringgit a month, because whatever pay I had for one MC job lasts me 3 months or 2 months, 3 months or 4 months, and it ends up averaging to 800 ringgit a month. So you cannot look at the lump sum they get and then just assume that's it. That's me lah.
I think what basically you're saying that, you know, I mean, we're in this industry where overnight, from wherever T20 or M whatever, we can go to B40, just like that.
Correct.
And you know, when you're not relevant anymore, the industry sees you old already, whatever reason, you can, it's so volatile. You can just go out just like that.
Yeah.
Camellia Japanese has just put a comment there. Did you guys really do not have EPF funds? Okay, so do we not have EPF funds? Well, for me personally, when I was working in Media Prima, then I did contribute to EPF. But after that, when I started freelancing, I opted not to put in savings in that. JJ, how about you?
Same.
So the company paid for your EPF first, but after that, you just stopped and you decided to just save money on your own, right? ASB or whatever. You had.
We different ways of saving money after that. There's like mutual funds and stuff like that. How I survived that 3 years without a job is because I diversified my portfolio. I made sure I had savings, I had this, and that money pulled me through 3 years so that I didn't die. That's basically it.
All right,
So,
sorry, M. Rizal is just commenting back. Understood, but do you guys really think it's necessary to have dana khas untuk artis?
Okay. Depending on which artist are you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, are you talking about artists yang famous gila already, or do you think the people who sings for a living in the clubs, or sessionists, or people who are MCs? Do you think those people are artists as well? If you think they are artists as well, then yes, artists should deserve it, because those people don't have a job already. And after this comes out, when RMO is lifted, not instantly they got a job, you know.
No.
It's not like 100% lifted, the end of that month they got paycheck already. Tak ada.
Exactly.
They don't know when their next paycheck is going to come. Do you understand this or not? A lot of people, after RMO is lifted, they are going to go back to their work and they're going to get their monthly paycheck. All right?
Exactly.
These people, artists, don't know when the next paycheck is going to come. Don't know whether the system that was in place before this, where they make money, is still going to be there as it is. Is it going to be changed? Are companies now going to hold back money and not spend so much on events and stuff like that? They don't know. Nobody knows. Mm-hmm. So that's why they're asking for it. That's
and I think people forget that at the end of the day, there is a way whoever wants to claim for those bantuan, you have to go through forms, you have to prove your eligibility, you know. It's and like I went through LHDN just now, just for information, and they want to make sure that you're not one of those, you pay your income tax, or you can't afford to pay. So that's how it goes. It's not as if Dato' Siti Nurhaliza, saja nak minta duit, saja, and she will get it. No, there's a proper channel and there's a proper way of applying, I think, right?
Yeah, but I do understand where people are coming from.
Yeah.
Why there a dana khas for artists. I understand the word khas makes people very like, excluded. Why artists more special than others? I totally understand that. I guess the dana should be everyone who needs it gets it. I understand where those people the anger comes from.
Yeah.
It should be a dana for everybody. If they need it, they get it. And if they qualify, they get it. Rather than, just because you're artist, you dapat. So because of the wording, people get upset. Because the word khas makes people feel special, excluded. They are special, I'm not. So maybe you could reword stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to not bring this up.
Okay.
But I can't help it.
All right.
Because you mentioned the word rewording it.
Yeah.
A very popular entrepreneur recently got a huge bashing.
Yeah.
And she apologized. I personally did not go, I don't even know if it was a video live or was it just comments. I'm not quite sure. But I posted, I love you, ... on over her Instagram because she apologized and she explains it. And then I get the bashing. And then, of course, other people started telling me or screenshotting all these, what happened, what transpired. And I'm like, but she apologized, right? Yeah. And at the end of the day, that's how my approach is, then forgive and move on.
Here's the scary part.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, learn from your mistakes. right? That's the thing that all our parents told us.
Right.
Learn from your mistakes because your mistakes help you grow. Okay. If I look back 10 years ago, there are things that I wouldn't say now that I said 10 years ago.
Same.
Why? Because of experience, because of what I've learned, because of what I've gone through, and because of my mistakes. I learned from them. But because of the cancel culture we have right now, you are not allowed to make mistakes, or your past, we're going to look at it and like, oh, you
And
said something in the
nitpick
past, you're a
everything.
horrible person. No. So how is someone supposed to improve or get better? No. Now, if that person apologized, yes, fine. Take it like fine. You own up to your mistake. You apologize, and then let it go on. But if that person repeats the same mistake, then you can call them out for it. Then you can say cancel, because it proves that person doesn't want to change. They're just simply saying they're sorry. But if the truth is that for the fact that they did not realize it or did not see it from someone else's point of view, then you should not cancel them, because you have to realize right and wrong is a very vague thing. It's not black and white. It's gray. What is right for me could be wrong for you. Doesn't mean that I am wrong. It means that I'm different for you. I have different opinions, and maybe if by you talking to me, we can come to a middle ground and understand each other, and then learn and grow better together. So yeah, some people are. I don't believe in cancel culture like this, buddy.
What can we do to help our own industry first and foremost?
Well, how we can help our own industry is doing stuff like this. Before this, a lot of us built our own silos. Everyone wanted to grow on their own, which is needed. But I think if we all come together, and I'm not talking of just singers, actors. I'm talking about everybody, from the people in the back end, the producers, the directors, everyone in the industry, MCs, dancers, musicians, everyone come together and be together. Then no one can take advantage of the system, because at the moment, if an MC or someone who's got experience, and then someone comes to them, excuse me, can you give at a lower charge? You'll be like, no, actually, this is my charge. And if you want to, how about you go to the lower people and give them a chance to go up? So if your budget is low, go to the lower people, give them a chance to go up. All right? The higher budget, give to these people. But because of the system now, someone can go, oh, you don't want? Then I go to someone else. And that person might, during that time, didn't have job in 2 months ago. Okay, fine, I'll do it.
Hence the spoiled market situation.
But the thing is, it's not their fault, because for 2 months they didn't have a job. They needed it. So if we actually all are together, no one can take advantage of the system, because we all will go, no, that budget is this group of people. Give them a chance. So, and we have to be honest, and everybody in the system help each other out. That's why I think that. And then promote each other.
Absolutely. Any last words of advice? You're looking good, by the way. I think I like the fact that you're growing your hair. What made you grow your hair?
I wanted to be different. I've got a lot of people coming up. Has anyone told you look like JJ? I'm like, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
And what do they?
Someone says
what do you say?
Like JJ. I'm like, it's because they're not used. They've always used for me being bald. People normally got hair, then lose hair. I no hair, then grow hair. Confuse people. But last words. I guess we all, during this time, let's reflect on ourselves as human beings and try to improve ourselves. Because once this RMO is lifted, if we've improved ourselves in this moment of silence, the world will be a better place when we all get together again.
I love that. I really, really love that. Thank you so much for popping my first RMO live YouTube show here with Daphne Iking. Thanks for being my first guest and my guinea pig. I love you so much. Send my love to wifey and the kids.
And keep on clapping.
Well done.
And keep on clapping. Oh, please remind me, okay?
Yeah. Okay, I will. Every Sunday, 8 p.m. Just get out of your balcony, scream, cheer for 1 minute.
1 minute only, yeah? I clap for you first now.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, JJ. Take care. Tata titi tutu. I don't want to make you wait in your car for too long. I'll see you around. Thank you so much. So there you have it. Bye. That was JJ Fernandez, and we are still just going to continue a little bit more on this show, where we're going to take a look at the latest updates with regards to news. Okay, this is something that I want to do on my own. Actually, I don't have time for me to check on the news. So, like I said, Azmi does all the summary for me, or I go on Twitter. After everyone's asleep, that's my me time. Twitter is my go-to place for quick updates on news. Let's take a look at the updates. Let's go into updates right now. Okay. Okay, hold on. We're just setting up. This is the first time we're actually going live and trying out this new system that my husband, the technology geek and genius, set up. Right, so about an hour ago, this came out, and the Star, King, and Queen have... Oh, it disappeared. Hold on. In the meantime, let me just see... some of the comments. Okay, from Nomad. Daphne, save your brand and image. Forget about buttering up to those T20. She said the M40 and B40, including you, Daphne, are not contributing to the economy. You, Daphne, you are not contributing. Hi, Nomad. As I mentioned earlier and in my posts, I'm someone that is... I am a person who chooses to forgive and to move on. I think especially at this very crucial time when you need more than ever positive vibes and good energy, good juju to be surrounding you, just to be, sane while you're in this RMO or MCO. I've always believed in the root of forgiveness. That has always been my stance. She has apologized. I'm not familiar with her past mistakes. Apparently some people had also spoken to me about, this is not the first time she's done it, and we can agree to disagree, but I really feel that when we are in a dialogue or in a debate, we can also be constructive and kind in our words. Okay, Safwan Anwar, people living in gated community, mostly rich people, want to be able to do exercise, for example jogging outside their house within the gated area. They claim it's important to take care of physical and mental health too, but government wants us to stay in the house. Are they excluded from this MCO? So this is a little bit tricky here, because their debate is that they are doing the social distancing. It's not as if there are other people who are jogging around them. Again, because saya bukan tuan punya badan, I don't see it, I don't witness it with my own eyes. It may be in the news. I've not had time to do that because I'm just so overwhelmed with cooking, cleaning, and schooling my kids, and I'm just so exhausted by the time the day is over. But I think as much as possible, Safwan, I really have to agree, we should try our level best to try and restrict our movements to be at home. I've also mentioned this over my social media pages, Instagram in fact to be more precise, that at the same time while we are trying to get more people to duduk diam kat rumah, to stay at home, kadang-kadang susah juga habis ada juga kes-kes. There are cases where there is abuse at home, there's domestic abuse, sexual abuse, astaghfirullahalazim. So all these cases, and because I know activists or advocates who are working on the ground, that is one of the fears that we had initially when the women ministry closed down the helplines or the hotlines, because abuse normally happens when the stress of the family is just too big for them to handle. So unfortunately, those young face the brunt of the stress or the lack of anger management is the children or the spouse or both. So while we are adamant about trying to stop this pandemic from making it worse, and everyone wants our lives back, everyone wants their livelihood back, at the same time kita kena fikir juga orang-orang macam ni. I also posted on my Facebook a few days ago, Daphne Iking Facebook, about how some people don't have a bigger home, or they don't live with their families, they live with housemates or roommates in places that are really small. So nak cakap duduk je rumah diam-diam kat sana, or they have to go out every day because they don't have the money to, but like us, kita boleh mampu beli groceries for a week to last us for a week, so that we can just stay at home for at least a week or two, you know. Tapi ada yang tak mampu. Some people don't even have food on the table, and that's why I just want to have a quick plug-in. This is an NGO. I'm an NGI, a non-governmental individual activist, and I am on board with COVID Care, MY, and we are trying to help the marginalized community. While it's great that we've got all these fundraising activities and initiatives that's going on, bless all of you. I'm also trying to find ways to help those yang homeless, mereka yang miskin sangat, those marginalized community. And this is a coalition of NGOs from DRA as well as My Skills. We're coming together to help the undocumented or documented foreign communities in Malaysia. We're trying to give provision support to deserving poor families, to travel support to those yang needs medical help. Ada yang tak mampu because of the, you know, the lack of travel ban and stuff like that. Ada yang wheelchair bound. So benda-benda macam ni, we need to assist the B40 group suffering from low wages and very, very dependent on daily wages. This is my NGO that helps with the elderly, frontliners, assisting to curb the pandemic, documented and undocumented, as I mentioned, communities, as well as other vulnerable groups. So we really need to be supportive of one another at the end of the day. Yeah, it's very saddening indeed, Keith. I think that's your name. It's very depressing, but that is the reason why I'm doing this show. And I hope that every 4 p.m. you can log on, tell your friends. Please do have that chat with me, because I think it's very important that we have an interactive platform for us to bercakap. And I'm so glad that all of you are coming in to give such wonderful feedback and being so beradab with it also. Very quickly, again, let's go back to the news that is happening as of now. I saw one very interesting one earlier on. Wow, okay. Our Minister of Defence, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri, says that all Malaysians who return to the country will be immediately quarantined for 14 days. Senior Minister Datuk Seri Ismail, he is the Minister of Defence, isn't he, love?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he also said that authorities are now making the necessary preparations to take in Malaysians returning from abroad, including students, because a lot of our students are stuck because they're not supposed to be in the university because there's a lockdown in certain countries. They have no place to go. They want to come back pun tak boleh. So yes, the public need not come to the airport to pick up the family members, because once they arrive, they'll be taken to the quarantine centers. So if you have any family members from abroad, you won't be seeing them for another 2 weeks or so, because they have to be quarantined, and that is the best for everyone. However, they can still keep in touch with their loved ones via phone. Speaking of which, I have been keeping sane because I love my friends. So thank God for Zoom, and thank God for house party. But I just read somewhere, and I don't know if it's true or not, so I'm going to find out a little bit more. Maybe tomorrow I'll speak about this once I get more clarification about the house party app, which apparently is able to hack your accounts. So this came in 6 hours ago. Of course, the app is saying no, there is no way that, you know, we are compromising on the data. In fact, BBC has just mentioned here over the news, the owner of video chat and game app House Party is offering a 1 million reward for evidence that the company was the victim of a commercial smear campaign. Wow. So online rumors have alleged, and this is the rumor that I got this morning from my group chats, that those who download this app, they'll get their Netflix and Spotify being hacked. So far, touch wood, I've not gotten any problems, but because I read this from a friend of mine, and she's also a niece in that group chat, one of them is my niece. So just to be safe, I actually deleted the app because I can always reinstall it. So I want to find out a little bit more about that. But yes, we've got all these wonderful apps that help us to be in touch with our loved ones. I can't see my mother. She's in Sabah. She doesn't want to see us either because she said, kalau kau tinggal dekat sama saya pun, saya tidak mau. Because she's in a vulnerable group. Although she looks fantastic, I must say. Odu looks really good.
Beautiful. She
looks
likes
great.
carrying stones and rocks and makan itu
I
snack.
don't have it here because she actually sent it over WhatsApp.
What?
But
Oh.
mom actually is busy in the kampong. My mother, she is coming to 70 years old actually, but she's so active. She was in the medical line. Now she's retired and she's living her dream of being a farmer. So right now she is with her, as she mentioned. Kalau orang Sabah dong tahu ni frasa ini. Dia sama dia punya karabau kaki pindik. We have to say that because we want to be, how some people are very particular about the word babe. So we've got babe, we've my brother rears pigs. We've got chickens, we've got fish, we have vegetables and fruits. So I was telling us, kalau busuk kan, because right now we're really downsizing everything. We're selling
There's
off
another.
stuff.
Sorry to interrupt.
Right.
There's another surprise guest. That
Oh!
let's call her. What say you?
Lizzie Bunny. Oh, is this? All right. I think I am able to chat with my girlfriend, Lisa. Hey, hi. See who just dropped in. Ini mesti kau call ni.
Yes.
Hi, Lisa. How are you
hold on.
coping? Oh, wait.
Wait, hold on. Because I'm dressing for the occasion. Okay, don't ask.
No, because he's in his regular. But he wants to jazz it up.
Yalah.
You know when Isidore saw him earlier on, when he said like, I need to dress the part. I'm like, you're not dressed. You're still in your bloody singlet, right? He said, no, I've got my hat. You're familiar with Thomas and Friends, right? Who does he look like?
Oh my god.
Top hat.
Yes. At least I'm a hero to my son.
All right, coming
so
in
sweet.
live with me is Lisa Surihani. Hi, Lisa Baba.
Yes. Hi, Baba.
I've been chatting with her for the past few days, and
Yes.
you were telling me how you cope is by being present.
Yes.
Tell us about how you cope during this RMO by being present. What do you mean by that?
I think it's not thinking too much about what has been going on and what's going to happen.
Right.
And too much of that is pursuant to what we digest every day with what we see, what we read, what we watch. And I'm speaking about stuff on the news, social media, all the stuff that people are sharing on WhatsApp. New development of this and new development of that, especially with regards to the COVID-19 pandemic that we're all on a global scale are facing. So I have nowhere else to go. I am within the four walls of my house. And
You've not gone out
what I
at
mean
all?
by being,
At all, even for grocery shopping.
You got Yusri for that.
Yusri does that.
How's Yusri coping with grocery shopping? Okay.
The first time he had to go to the supermarket, I thought it was really cute how he held up the list right after I finished praying.
Right.
And he was just standing there with the list in his hand.
Imagine.
And he said, I don't know half the things on this list. And I just looked at him and I said, don't worry about it. They're all labeled, so.
But he's good now.
It was just like,
surely 2 weeks later he's improved. I mean, he can hear voices.
Well,
sure he can.
he's only gone twice. He's only gone twice thus far.
So lucky, man.
So-
I go nearly every 2 days.
Because I want bread. I want my
Really?
bread to be fresh. Actually, I can bake my own bread, but he wants to get his loaf of bread, that particular bread.
Oh yes. Bread goes really fast. Yeah. I would say
Yeah.
yeah. And I guess being present is also about since if we're looking at our conditions, everybody's affected in their own way, right? Like we have each of our very real concerns, and I think where what I try to do is to be I look around me about the things that I can be grateful for, and I appreciate the time with myself and also with my loved ones. Um, and I decide to sort of like really mitigate and lessen the kind of things that would put my anxiety at an all-time high. So, for example, I wouldn't want to watch the news all day. I wouldn't want to sort of like I try to decrease my phoneaholic habits. And that has somewhat helped me a lot with my heart, my mind, my psyche. Yeah.
And I know that you're also using this time to get closer to God.
Yes, I try.
Alhamdulillah. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Yeah, I mean, like I'm not fluent with my Quran reading, for example, and so I although I can't get my ustazah to come to the house, but there is good in technology. There are apps that you can use, like the ones that we're using now, for example, like Skype, where we're with our Zoom. And I just finished, like literally just now, like a class with her, just to improve my Quran reading. And then I think it's also reading the translation as well. It's all about giving yourself good juju to get through the day. I'm literally living my life right now a day at a time, because thinking too much about what's going to happen would really make me worry a bit too much. Sometimes I feel that it is okay to really submit your focus and energy and to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to trust in Him, to put faith in Him that it will be okay. We have to persevere. We have to be patient during this time. And it is also during this time, I think, where we try to make better. And when in saying to make better, it's about ourselves. It's about our relationships with our loved ones, our husband, perhaps our parents, our siblings, our kids, our dear friends. It is this time that we aim to make better anyhow.
Speaking of better, I spoke to JJ earlier on, and we were having a chat about how, and some people actually asked over the comments where they feel that artists should not fall under the B40 category. And just in a nutshell, what JJ said was, you don't understand that, of course, there is the golongan kaya artists, and there are those who were like him, who was just kicked out from the radio job that he had, a permanent job, and then for 3 years he just used up all his savings, and now he's just trying to make ends meet. Your thoughts about this? I mean, someone asked.
He's absolutely right. I think from what was given from the PDF sharing in the artist group, we, on the surface, like I think macam by way of definition, artis, karyawan all fall under B40. Like how it works in our industry is that some earn a little bit more, some earn a lot lesser. So there's the spectrum for the earnings for celebrities vary from one to the other, depending on a lot of factors, depending on the job that they've been doing, depending on popularity, depending on celebrity status. I think that's also another thing that people would have to try and understand, that there are celebrities out there who are not artists, and a lot of their jobs are pursuant to their
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're absolutely right. Income lah.
Job lah.
And I think at the end of the day, I think this is what we need to highlight. It's not as if selagi you're artist, you will get the money, whether you're the rich artist or the less income or the lower income bracket artist. You still have to apply for that particular bantuan, and then they will go through it. It's not as if straight away dapat semua, They will have to show proof that they don't have the income coming, and I'm sure they've got a system. I'm sure the government has a system for that.
I think when it comes to this whole situation, which kind of, where it kind of hit the fan, and it kind of went out of hand, and macam everybody seemed to be quite sensitive with who's saying what and all that stuff. So I think it's about the channels that we are using. I think macam if say like you are so and so, this is your job scope, this is what you do, but you're unsure of what it is, perhaps maybe go through the proper channels to inquire. Like, okay, if I am an artist and this is my income bracket or my tax bracket, where do I fall under? What can I do about it? And etc. I don't know whether social media is the best tool to address issues like this. So I mean, in all honesty, in all frankness, though, I don't think anybody and anyone in the industry means to stir shit up.
Yes,
If I
I was
say.
kind of like, what's
You know what I
another
mean?
way of saying? Okay, but yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they mean to do so. I think it's sort of like sometimes people handle their concerns differently. And all of their concerns are real, which I think it doesn't have to be denied. It's just that like sometimes out of the heat of the moment, or the concern of the moment, or the panic of the moment, they tend to sort of react in a certain way that may kind of, the cause and effect of things is that it is something that they may not expect, and this is kind of what happened. And I think what could have been done is actually addressing to the right people, to the right channels on how to go about it. If I were to be an artist, this is my income per month, or rather, actually, I don't even get it monthly. It's actually project basis. What can I do? And then see the reply from the right authorities, from the perbadanan yang betul,
Well
so
said.
I think maybe that's one way to go about it, and then from there, then perhaps discuss it with your other peers, or perhaps the higher authority, the perbadanan that is payunging us all, like Finas, Seniman, and all that. So okay, this is what was discussed, and but then it I honestly don't really feel the necessity of having a khusus kind of like special giving for artists and celebrity at large, actually. Like macam okay, bagi artis dan selebriti, ini adalah your stimulus. Ini adalah you punya relief for the next 6 months. For us, because we don't have labor law to protect us. We're all part-timers, we're all freelancers. So we have to actually ask in accordance to that.
Yeah.
So kalau kita jatuh di bawah itu, so how? Macam tu lah, I don't know, I think so. Nak kata I pandai sangat pun tak juga. Tapi
But you make sense, Lisa. You do make sense. And I think emotions are running high right now, and it's just crazy. Everyone is panicking, like you said. Everyone has every right to be worried. But now not moving forward per se, but how do we cope? Because mental health is so important at this time when you are confined to a place, especially if you're not used to it, or you're not used to being with your family members or non-family members if you're living with housemates for such a long period of time. There's speculation that it might be extended. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think, I don't think that it's hard to deny the likelihood of an extension to the MCO.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that we don't actually really see the curve flattening at the moment, and also it's I mean, I don't really mean to sound melancholy about it. I think it's about being realistic about the way the graph is moving. It's but every I have to say though, like, we can nag all day long about people who don't stay at home or whatever, but we have to give credit to those who do. There are a lot of people out there who are following and abiding by. Yeah, a lot of people are abiding by the MCO and they are staying home as much as possible. Like, I've not gone next door to see my in-laws, for example. There are a lot of families out there, a lot of households.
You mean you've not seen your mother-in-law who's just next door?
No.
Yusri's mom?
Yeah.
Yusri's not seen his own mom?
Yeah.
Wow. That's really talking about taking it seriously. Well done.
Well, because our in-laws are of a certain age that we can't simply, sort of take that risk. So I mean, there's a lot of families out there who are trying to abide by the MCO order, and I think, I think they're all doing a great job. I think we can sort of like take at least a brief moment and say, guys, whoever it is who's abiding by this MCO, please, I'm quite honestly, like, thank you so much. All of you are doing a great and fantastic job doing so, because you're not thinking only just for yourselves, but you're thinking about rakyat yang lain, And because you don't know whether you fall under group B or not, you know what I mean? Like, you could be the group B of the chain.
Wow.
The COVID-19 chain. You never know, because like, you may assume, because group C's would be the one who has direct contact with group A, right? The group A's are the positive COVID-19. And then group C, who did not know because it takes 2 weeks for it to manifest. And then after that, they might have in that time met group B, and we don't know, you know what I mean? So I think in speaking about how to cope, is knowing that everybody is going through this, and not to say that we don't hear you, we don't hear your qualms, we don't hear your concerns. We have to sort of remind one another, berganding bahu antara satu sama lain dengan cara berjauhan, that we have to persevere, we have to be patient as much as possible, in order for this to subside. Because like in 2 weeks, I reckon it is quite unlikely that cases would be zero.
Nope.
Because they're still looking out for group B.
In China, how long did it take, Papa? China?
2 months.
It took 2 months for China.
That's right, and it's still happening.
If the first case in China was detected actually in October, which was denied, and then after that it kind of blew out of proportion in December,
Correct.
It was only recently announced that they had lifted the lockdown order. So actually, technically speaking, it's about 6 months. But then I'm not saying that it is a must with Malaysia or whatever. It is all dependent on social behavior at large in Malaysia.
Okay, we're such a diverse lot with different opinions. I don't know if you're Skyping me with your phone. Are you using the phone or the PC?
Yeah, the phone.
Oh, your phone. I don't know if you saw this. It's just come out on Malay Mail actually. Actually, it's been going around on my WhatsApp group also, where the Kementerian Pembangunan Wanita, and we're not here to diss. Right, we're not here to diss or anything. It's just from the Kementerian Pembangunan Wanita, Keluarga dan Masyarakat, the Women's Ministry. It says they've just recently come up with a poster, kebahagiaan rumah tangga dibina bersama, bagaimana untuk elakkan pergaduhan suami isteri di rumah. I'm not sure if you've seen this. There's also another poster. This is actually quite new. This wanita cegah COVID-19 hashtag.
Is that real?
It
Is that real though?
It is. Okay, this one I've definitely seen.
from Papa.
This was on the KWKM post, and let's be fair, okay?
alright.
It's fair. It's tips untuk ibu pekerja dari rumah, penampilan diri. So they are encouraging you elak pakai pakaian rumah, which I'm wearing right now, by the way. Bertata hias seperti biasa, bersolek dan berpakaian kemas. So again, like I said, we're not here to diss or anything. It's just that we have a diverse group of people out there with different opinions. So
Yeah,
of course,
I don't wear clothes.
well, you're like that, all the time, so that's to each their own. But again, so of course, the ministry is getting attacked for this because they're saying like, what is this? What dress up as usual?
Because it
put on
seems
makeup.
misogynistic.
Correct. But I personally, in order for me to get into work mode, sometimes I will make that effort to berdandan sekejap lah, even if it means.
But if that works for you, lah.
Exactly. For
You know what I'm
me,
saying?
it works. But most of the
Yeah.
time, I'm not. I'm mostly in my yoga wear or my, fitness baju konon. Whenever I got time to silly
Right,
one workout,
right.
I will. But that's just it. A lot of people are condemning this. Well, not a lot, but a few activists are saying like, what the heck?
I see.
I don't know.
I
But you didn't
see,
see
I
it, so it's
see.
not fair for me to ask your comment with regards to this. But yeah, take a look at this. And
Their wives are advised to adopt a Doraemon-like tone and giggly coyly as opposed to nagging.
No, that's not. No, that's not real.
No. That's what the poster says.
yeah.
The poster says.
Yeah, we're
The
reading it
poster
as
says-
of now. Right now on Malay Mail, it says here, dated today. This is the second poster. I saw the first poster, which is Bedandan. The second one is to adopt a Doraemon-like tone and giggly coyly as opposed to nagging.
I mean, who gets turned on with Doraemon? Come on. No,
But
Nabita also doesn't like it.
You see, that's just it. Maybe because what is that word? I don't know how to pronounce it. Husonon?
Maybe they were trying to be. Maybe they were trying to make light out of the
Correct.
suggestion.
Correct.
Maybe they were trying to. They were trying to sort of like, hey, like lighten things up or whatever.
Don't be
But then,
diplomatic here, Lisa.
Having said that, having said that, like I don't think Yusri would
Would get turned on.
receive it well if I suddenly went up to him and spoke in a Doraemon tone voice. I don't know.
Can
I
we
think
hear
he'd
your
probably
Doraemon
look at
voice?
me funny.
Ow. Come on, you. Do.
I can't. I'm too baritone for this,
Oh.
you know.
Oh, baritone.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Lisa
my voice
Surihani,
is
by the
huge.
way, has an amazing voice.
Yeah.
What lah,
It's
you?
just crazy that you don't sing more often. She was actually forced. I had to correct this part from her lah. She was actually like, used to like, Joma yang, Joma. Is that right? Something like that, right? That where he sort of like begged you to do at least one song together, and you did.
Yeah. He insisted on it. It took him a year to convince me to do it.
Yeah. Oh my God, Yusri. Wow, you
Yeah.
don't give up, do you? Anyway,
He does not,
I'm
no.
sorry. I've taken more than enough time off you. But yes, any last words of advice to people who are watching right now on staying sane during this RMO? Over to you.
Well, I guess what I could say is, hey, like let's. I mean, I guess it's easier said than done. Anything and everything we say could be sort of misconstrued or what. But I swear to everyone that I mean what I say with no malice at heart. Like it's difficult. It's really tough. Everyone has got their own versions or definitions of what tough and difficult is. And we hear you. We respect all of your worries and your concerns. And however, let's try and band together in ways that we know that we know best, with utmost kindness, with utmost patience and perseverance. Inshallah. Put faith in the Almighty that this shall pass. This too shall pass. No matter what was it Gandalf?
Yes.
Gandalf said, "This shall not pass." I mean, he said that. But anyways, yeah. But I mean, this will pass, and let's try and work together in ways whereby, if we can follow the rules, love one another. And when I say love one another, I mean also in the sense of protection. Protect one another. It's all that we can do. And doa lah banyak-banyak.
Doa lah banyak-banyak. Thank you so
Wabillahi
much.
taufiq
Well
wal hidayah.
summarized.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Amin,
wabarakatuh.
amin, amin. Thank you so much, Liz. I'll see you around. I'll probably kacau you tomorrow again. Not on the show, but on a
or maybe I'll catch
Zoom
you.
or Skype or whatever. Constantly. I saw her mom cut her hair just now, so that's just things that we do to keep each other entertained, or rather me. I'm like, oh, Lisa's calling. Yay, I get to see her cut her hair. All right. Anyway, thank you so much, Lisa. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I'll speak to you again soon, okay?
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Papa,
I love you. Bye-bye.
All right, so that was Lisa Surihani. That was a surprise call. I didn't actually expect to have her on my first YouTube.
Beautiful.
So we had two wonderful guests, two beautiful friends of mine. So super positive. What a great way to kickstart my first show right here on Daphne Iking's live show during the RMO. Oh my God, it rhymes, Papa.
Yes.
The
Rumah
first
Manso.
show on my RMO show. I wish I could get Rosma Manso.
We will.
We've always wanted to try and get Rosma
We will.
Mansour.
Trust
Check
me.
this out. I have to show you this. He took this from her kurusi.
Yes.
I don't know if you can see it. There you go.
Yes.
Anyhow,
She
we
deserve it.
without getting into any more trouble, because I've had a bit of trouble the past few days. I'm so glad that's over. A quick plug-in tonight. I will be having Gentle Flow, safe for prenatal moms out there. Follow me on my IG live at 9 p.m. to do some gentle stretches just before hitting the sack. So that's something that I do also with a group of other trainers from all around the region, from Singapore, Thailand. Thank you so much, Kevin Zari, for initiating it. Of course, every time you go, they update the schedule for the trainers the next day, every day at 9 p.m. and that can also be seen over my IG stories. I will be sharing that. We take turns, whoever's available. So be it. That is our part of community. I also like to plug in once again that I am part, my NGI, which is Humarap, which means Hope in Kadazan, is also part of this NGO called COVID Care MY, and I'll be speaking to one of the founders or the person who initiated this NGO to help the vulnerable groups. I'll try and find a day where I can speak to her and we can talk a little bit more with regards to some of the work they do and how we can collectively help. But in the meantime, if you have any acts of kindness or know of any random acts of kindness, please do share it over to your social media pages. We just want to get the positive and good juju going on. So remember, hashtag us at COVID Care MY. All right, so I will be back same time tomorrow at 4 p.m. with a new guest. I haven't figured out who it is. We are doing this on the fly. And anything else you want to add on before we wrap up the show? Okay, just for your information, if you don't know who Top Hat is, can we just quickly show it to our viewers out there?
Okay, Top Hat things.
You can't hear Lisa.
Blah,
I started to sing that song
Top
JJ is saying.
Thomas.
Again, JJ, since you're still on air or still online, thank you so much again for joining us. All right, so this is Sir Top Ham Hat.
Yes.
Top Hat.
Sweet things.
Oh, there you go. This is Isidore is in love with Thomas besides Transformers. So when he saw him donning this hat, he said, oh, Papa, you look like Top Hat. I think that's just so adorable. It's just amazing.
But my hat is not so top compared
Not so
to the
top, huh?
the
You
lily
look more
top.
like Marcus Miller.
No, this is what you call a pork pie hat. But since we are in Malaysia and you know how people can get sensitive and we want to make it Sharia.
Pork.
Yeah, it's
That's
pork.
what it's called.
Yeah.
Pork pie? Why?
Pork
Why would
pie
they call it pork
because
pie?
it looks like a pork pie.
It doesn't look like a pork. Oh,
Yeah.
pork pie.
Yeah.
Pie.
Yeah. Let's Google it. And,
Let's Google it. Let's check out what is a pork pie.
Pie.
Oh, there you go. You're right. Pork pie hat.
Pork and a pie. Look. That is a pork.
Ah.
And then
We
you
actually
a
have
pork pie
pies
hat.
similar to that, which are
halal. So they have chicken pie hat. Let's make it more kosher.
No, I don't care. It is what it
Oh,
is.
speaking of which, now it is 5:15. I need to roast my chicken, which is marinating. I actually smell of chicken right now. But again, yes, thank you so much to all those who have given us wonderful feedback, suggestions, etc. Anything else again you want to add?
No, I'm okay.
You're right. I'm okay. I'm going to see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Do continue giving us suggestions. Maybe I can contact those persons. Who would you like me to try and interview? We'll see if I can do it. And I'm sure we can because technology rocks. And I'm so glad we're doing this. Thank you so much for being part of my first show. I love you all. And peace, y'all. See you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Or catch me at 9 p.m. with Gentle Flow, Prenatal Safe, stretches over my IG live. Here we go.